After my company went public, I received 60 million yuan worth of shares. I am financially free, so I go home and joke with my parents that the company laid me off. I tell them I plan to mooch off them. To my shock, that very same day, my parents transfer every piece of property to my younger brother. They even announce they are moving in with him and tell me to go rent my own place. My girlfriend also seizes the chance to break up with me. I smile and agree to everything. Every single demand, the 60 million yuan. Not a single word, Mom did. The reason I came back so suddenly is because the company laid me. Can you support me for a while? Looking at their frozen faces, I am just about to laugh and say, just kidding, scared, didn't I? But then I see my father tug on my mother's sleeve. The two of them give me stiff, forced smiles. It's fine, resting for a bit is good too. Ethan, go to your room and rest. Your mom and I need to step out for a bit. With that, they rush into their bedroom. Worried they took me serious, I walk over to explain. But then I hear my father's voice through the door. Ethan lost his job. He's just gonna lie around. He must be planning to mooch off of. That won't do, honey. While he still doesn't know how much we have saved, let's hurry and transfer all our money and properties to Kev. That way Ethan can't lay claim to anything. My mother's voice sounds hesitant. All the properties, but there is one apartment. It's under our name, but Ethan bought it. It's his wedding home. Just take it. Like, is that really okay? My father snaps back impatiently. If it's in our name, it's ours. He has a proper job in the city and he's the elder son. What's wrong with thinking about his... As for the wedding home, he can just work harder and buy another. Can't he? I'm just afraid Ethan will feel we're playing favorites. Playing favorites? We're his parent. We raised him. Besides, he's unemployed now, isn't giving that house to... is basically saving it for him. Otherwise, he'll get lazy, stop going to work and squander it all. Then what my mother thinks it over and finally nod. Alright, I'll tell Kevin not to say anything stupid. I lean against the door outside, give a bitter, self-mocking smile and return to my own room. I know it ever since I was a child. My parents have always loved Kevin more because I was raised by my grandpa, while Kevin grew up by my parents' side. From a young age, my parents always told me, you are the elder son. The eldest brother is like a father. Right or wrong, you must always give in to your younger brother. We work so hard to earn money, getting up early and staying up late for you. We have no choice but to leave you back home. Your school records are already there. Transferring would hurt your studies. You stay back home. We still have to take care of your little brother. I understood how hard it was for my parents. So after my first year of college, I never spent another cent of theirs. I even worked part-time jobs to pay for Kevin's tuition. After graduation, I worked hard for nearly 8 years. I finally saved enough to buy a 2-bedroom back home, planning to use it as a wedding home with my girlfriend. But Kevin said not to waste my first-time buyer stat. He told me to put it under our parents' name in case I ever got the chance to buy in the capital. I thought it doesn't matter. We are family after all, so I agreed. Who knew that even back then, they were already scheming against me? This time I came back because I wanted to surprise the company I had invested in went public. My dividend is over 60 million yuan, with more dividends to come. Every single year I am financially free. I was thinking of coming home to talk with mom and dad about buying a villa, getting Kevin a few storefronts, buying him a car, and leaving each of them several million for their retirement so their lives would be easier and the whole family could go on a trip together. How wonderful would that be? So I just wanted to play a little joke. I would scare them by saying I wanted to mooch off them, then tell them our family had struck it rich. But the one who got the real shock turned out to be me. Hearing my parents talk like that stunned me, but I believe my brother Kevin. He wouldn't ever since we were kids. Anything good I had I gave to him first. I basically raised him myself. He and I have such a good relation. He would never agree to something so from our parents before long. My parents speak to me with feigned concern. Ethan, it's fine. You've been working so hard for years. Now that you're home, just rest. Your dad and I are heading out for an air. Just text me for what you want for dinner. If I hadn't heard their conversation, I never would have imagined that the parents acting so concerned about me are actually scheming against me at every turn. Just then, my mother's phone rings. I hear Kevin's voice on the other end. Mom, what's so urgent? Why do I have to go to the property office? My mother quickly walks aside with the phone. Just go when I tell you to go. My father steps sideways to block my view. You rest first, we're heading out. I smile, saying nothing. Then while they aren't paying attention, I quietly follow behind them. Sure enough, I see them pull Kevin aside on the road. I sneak around the corner to listen and watch them repeat everything they said. After hearing it, Kevin frowns deeply. Mom, Dad, you can't do this. How can you treat Ethan? My mother quickly tugs on Kevin's sleeve. Oh, Kevin, your elder brother has no job now, and he's just going to stay at home. Who knows how long he'll rest? What if he burns through all his and then expects us to support? Then how will you buy a house or pay for a wedding? Seeing this, my father nods along exactly. So many young people these days mooch off their parents. We have to be careful, and what's wrong with it? It's our stuff. The house is in our name. We can give it to whoever we want. Better to give it to you than let him waste it. My mother chimes in again. Your brother makes money in the cap. Once he sees there's nothing left, he'll just stay a few days and go back to grind. Again, we don't need to worry about him. Kevin still hesitates, but we met his girlfriend. Aren't they talking about getting married? At least that apartment was supposed to be the wet. Are you going to transfer that one to wedding home? Your brother doesn't even have a job anymore. What woman would want to be with him? You're different if you have no money and no house. Finding a wife will be even hard, won't it? But what if my brother finds it? My father pauses for a moment, then he gives a cold snort. So what if he does? We're his parents after all. All these years, Ethan has been so obedient to us, never talks back a child. Being filial to his parents is just the way it should be. Even if he finds out, he'll understand our intentions. He won't blame us. This is just pushing him to develop himself. My mother also speaks up, right? How can a young man rest all the time? Your brother should think about it. To support him through school. Your father and I struggled so hard outside. So what if he finds out? What can he do? Pick a fight with us then. He'd just be an ungrateful child. At this point, my father gets even angrier. If it weren't for your grandfather forcing me, then your brother should have dropped out long ago. What's the point of a country going to school for so long? He's a boy who didn't start working at like 13 or 14. If your grandfather weren't so stubborn, your brother would have been out earning money long ago. Right, country kids grow up early. Those years working outside really wore us out. My mother glances at the time and quickly says, Kev, let's go hurry to the transfer office when we get back. Don't say anything in front of your I watch Kevin's lips open silently and close. Before he finally nods, fine. I got it, but just remember, this was your idea. My brother might be back just to rest. If he goes back to the capital and makes more money, I'm still waiting for him to buy me a car. Don't make him hate me. Oh, you don't need to tell us. We've already thought it through. I watch this family of mine, smiling happily as they walk away. I lean against the wall, cover my eyes with one hand, and slowly let out a bitter laugh. The moment I got that money, my first thought was to come home and tell them, so we could all live a good life. I wanted to share that happiness with them. I thought we were a family, but they never saw me as family. Only Kevin is their child. What am I, just someone they manipulate? When things are calm, a few sweet words from them, and everything is supposed to be fine. From high school on, I never spent a single cent from home. I went to school by day and worked as a waiter at night, because I didn't want to add to their burden. Every day I wore hand-me-down clothes and shoes. That didn't fit. Kevin had so many new clothes, he couldn't wear them. They told me to understand. Kevin grew up in the county town. He was used to spending freely. I was the older brother, I should give in to him. Spoil him. I listened and I did. I thought, being the older brother, I should be the responsible one. I thought mom and dad didn't care about because I was independent. I never imagined they simply couldn't be bothered to waste time on me. Saying I wanted to mooch off them was just a joke, but this joke made me face a reality I had spent years refusing to admit. Still, it's not too late to wake up. At least the money is still in my hands. That evening, the whole family sits down at the dinner table. They exchange glances. Then my mother speaks first. Ethan, you've worked hard outside all these years. I know you came home to rest, but things at home really aren't good. I keep my eyes down eating, saying nothing. Then my father clears his throat and joins. So we tried doing a little business before, and we ended up losing This house is being taken back. Ethan, your mom and I have no money left. We have to move in with in his rental place, but the place is too small. So you see, this week, you should move out and find your own place. They expect me to be shocked, to ask question after question. They're ready prepared to explain in detail. But all I do is nod, got it. I'll pack up and move out. I don't care what lies they want to tell me. I no longer care. Just as I won't tell them about the 60 million yen. Over the next couple of days, I finish packing just as I'm about to leave. To my surprise, my girlfriend, Vivian, actually shows up at my hometown. My parents are also packing up the house these days. They're very surprised to see her at the door. Oh, Vivian, you're here. The house is a bit messy. Sit down for a bit. Vivian nods, glancing around the room with a faint look of disgust, then covers her nose, seeing my parents are right there. I can't tell her in detail what happened. I just asked curiously, Vivian, what brought you here so sudden? You said yesterday you needed to see me. Didn't I tell you I'd be back in a couple of days? Why didn't you let me pick you up? Aren't you tired? Before I can finish, Vivian softly cuts me off. Ethan, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Then she glances at my parents. I get it instant, so I pull Vivian into my room and close the door. Vivian, let me get you a glass of water. Let's break up. Hearing that, I freeze instantly. I turn back in disbelief. Vivian, why is this so sudden? I even have good news to tell you. I said let's break up. Vivian's tone is firm. I take a deep breath and sit down beside her, feeling drained. Vivian and I met through a friend like me. She came from out of town to make a life in the capital. With our circumstances, staying in the capital was incredibly hard, so we planned to grind for a few more years, then settle down in a smaller city. Another year or two, and we'd have enough saved. We were planning to get married. I knew her mother didn't like me, but I never expected her to break up with so suddenly, just as I'm about to mention being financially free. Vivian cuts me off impatiently. Ethan, you're truly useless. After grinding in the capital for so many years, you can't even afford one apartment. The words I'm about to say get stuck in my Upon hearing this, Vivian, that's not because I'm useless. An apartment in the capital costs 20 million. How can an ordinary worker afford that? Vivian, you're also from out of town, grinding it out in the cap. You should understand. Vivian gives a cold laugh. Stop making excuses for your own incompetence. Enough. I don't want to waste words with. I came here to make a clean. I won't beat around the bush, Ethan. My mom set me up with someone. I think he's a good match. He's a local in the capital. I'm planning to marry him. Thinking about how Vivian was always making excuses about working late, something clicks in my mind. I can't help but give a bitter laugh. Vivian, is it just because of money? What if I had money? What if I have money too? Vivian turns to look at me, silent for a moment, looking straight into her eyes. I realize she's no longer the girl she used to be. The way she looks at me now holds no love only impatience and irritation. Ethan, get real. Your love is so cheap compared to money. It means nothing, and even if you had money, how much could you possibly have? You'll never be able to afford an apartment in the capital in this lifetime. You're no different from those workers. Ethan, don't blame me. If you have to blame someone, blame yourself. A person has to be realistic. Listening to her words one by one, I really feel like my life is a ridiculous farce. I slowly curl up the corner of my mouth. Fine, break up as you wish. I hope you never regret it. I wish you happiness seeing me like this. Vivian gives a light sigh. Ethan, I will be happy. Don't say things in anger. From now on, you should be more realistic. Don't just believe whatever others tell you. I heard from people that your job was good. You actually had a chance to stay in the cap. I was naive. Your monthly salary, no matter how you say, will never be enough to buy a house in the... But I don't owe you anything. You were good to me. But I also stayed with you for quite a while. I lower my head and say nothing more. Vivian leaves right away, and in that moment, I suddenly feel perhaps the unfortunate one isn't me, but them everything they want. I already have, yet these people, the moment everything was within reach, showed their true colors. Even the heavens know they don't deserve any of it. My parents see Vivian leave without so much as a goodbye, and their faces darken instantly. What kind of person is that? No manners at all, forget making us a meal. She didn't even acknowledge us, Ethan. A woman like that, you hear me, marrying her would be a curse on the family. I can't marry her now we broke up. I say it coldly hearing this. My parents exchange a glance. See, you have no job, so even women look down on you. You'd better hurry back to the cap and find a good job. We still need someone to support us in our old age. Your younger brother still wants a car. If you don't go back and work hard, do you want us to suffer in our later years? I don't want to say anything more to them. I just nod once I'm packed. I'll head back to the capital. They nod happily. That's right. What's a young man like you doing back home? Get out there, good. Get out there hearing this. I nearly laugh out loud and scorny. They didn't say this to my brother back then. Back then they said, Kev, what are you going outside? Stay at home. We've got your car and house ready for you. Your elder brother will send you money, right? And I really did send him a fair amount every single month. The thought of it makes me curl my lips coldly. Don't worry if you ever get another cent out of me again. I have lived this life for nothing. After returning to the capital, I hand over all my company work and resign. The company tries to keep me. They offer to sign a part-time so I can help out occasionally. I agree. Our group of financially free people have a lively dinner together. Afterwards, with nothing else to do, someone suggests we start a company. Do a little business we can afford to lose anyway. It makes no difference to me, so I agree to invest that day. The chat is pleasant enough, but when I get back home, I find my place has been completely ransacked. The whole apartment is in shambles. The couch in the living room has been the doorway, the coffee table is overturned to one side. Glass shards scattered everywhere. Even the decorative paintings on the walls have been taken down. In the bedroom, the wardrobe has been turned upside down. Clothes are thrown everywhere. The bedding has been pulled off and piled on the floor. The bookshelves in the study have toppled. Books and documents scattered all over. Even the toiletries in the bath and the pots and pans from the kitchen the curtain rods are snapped. The curtains torn away. The entire apartment is a wreck, as if it has been raided. Not a trace of daily life remains. I stand in the doorway. The buzz from drinking vanishes instantly. The blood in my veins seems to freeze. It takes me a few seconds to react. I shut the door behind, pull out my phone and call the police right away. My fingers are so tense they turn white. On the phone, I keep my voice as steady as I can, giving my address and explaining the state of the place. After hanging up, I call my landlord. When the landlord hears what's happened to his he frantically says he'll be right over. About 15 minutes later, the police arrive. First, 2 officers enter with investigators. The investigators move around the apartment with their equipment, lifting fingerprints and footprints. The officers question me. They ask when I last left home, whether I noticed any suspicious people, what valuables are missing. I answer each one. I tell them I was at dinner with friends last and only came back in the early morning. I found the door ajar, and when I came in, it was already like this is for valuables. Since I've been planning a new chapter after quitting, most of my cash and valuables are locked in. The safe was tampered with but never cracked open. Instead, all the cheap, everyday items have been cleaned out. The landlord arrives shortly after. The moment he sees the place, his face turns green. He points at the wreck, unable to speak for a long while. Finally, he forces out, "What did I do to deserve this? I just finished renovating. Rented it to you a few months, and this happens." I quickly apologize and promise to cover the damage. Only then does his face soften a little. He stands aside and cooperates with the police. The investigators work for over half an hour, lifting several fingerprints from the door and the coffee table. Finding different shoe prints on the floor, the officers tell us they will pull the security foot from the property management, locate the suspect as soon as possible, and ask us to wait for news. They also ask me to submit a list of missing items. After the police leave, the landlord and I clean up the apartment together. Looking at the mess, the landlord grumbles while picking up glass shards, saying he's never encountered anything like this. I'm furious inside too. Something feels wrong. I haven't made enemies in the capital who would have nothing better than empty out my apartment and ignore valuables to take only household items. It makes no sense. Early the next morning, The officer from the station calls me. He says they found something through the security footage from the property. They saw one man and two women yesterday afternoon use a key to open my door, carry down several large boxes, and drive away. Through facial recognition, they identified the woman as Vivian. The other two were probably from a moving she hired. The officer also tells me the footage clearly shows Vivian directing the others to move things. Even the clothesline on the balcony and the toilet in the back were taken apart and hauled. Not even a kettle was left behind. Hearing the officer's words, I freeze at first, then can't help but laugh in fury. Vivian's mind is so twisted, breaking up and then doing something like this. It truly redefines my understanding of her. The officer asks how I want to handle it. I say the apartment belongs to the landlord, and most of the items in it are his too. Let the landlord decide. I hand the phone over. The moment the landlord, it was the tenant's girl, he explodes. He says they must press charges, make Vivian pay for all the damages, and hold her legally accountable. I let the landlord handle everything. After hanging up, I just feel exhausted. How could I have fallen for a woman like that? I must have been blind. I quickly grab some personal belonging, find a nearby hotel, and book a room to stay temporarily until everything is, and I find a new place next day. I'm catching up on sleep at the hotel last night. This whole mess kept me up until the early. I didn't sleep well in a half-dazed state. My phone suddenly starts ringing like crazy. The ringtone is piercing, jarring in the silent room. With my eyes still closed, I fumble for the phone and answer grog. My voice hoarse. Who is it? Ethan, are you so broke you've lost your mind? You actually called the police? Vivian's hysterical scream comes through the phone. The sound is sharp and shrill like nails on glass. Her scream makes me frown instantly. My eardrums buzz instinctively. I pull the phone away from my ear and glance at the screen. Sure enough, it's Vivian's number. I scoff. Anger surges up inside me. Vivian, I have to wonder if you have a brain. The apartment belongs to the landlord. The stuff inside, except for a few of my purse, all belongs to the landlord. You just moved it all out, trashed the place, and now I'm not allowed to call the police. I lean against the headboard, my tone ice cold, dripping with mockery. Vivian's behavior is laughable and infuriating. What landlord? Those are all mine. When we were together, I made the list myself and had you buy them and replace the old one. Those curtains, bedding, kitchenware, I picked them all. We broke up. What's wrong with me taking my own things back? What right do you have to call the— Drop the case right now or I'm not finished with you. Listening to her, I can't help but laugh at her warped logic. Sure, she picked those things, but I paid for every single one of them, and most of them were the landlord's to begin with. She actually has the nerve to claim them as her own. Shamelessness at its peak. Fine, then go tell the officers yourself. Let's see if they buy your ridiculous story. I scoff. I don't want to waste another word on. I hit the block button. Then I block and delete her on every messaging. I clear out every photo and chat record from my phone. Out of sight, out of mind. Tangling with someone like her only lowers my own standards. After blocking Vivian, I try to go back to sleep, but I toss and turn. My mind is a mess. From going home to joke with my parent, to discovering my parents and were scheming against me, to Vivian breaking up with and emptying out my apartment. The whole string of events plays like a movie. I feel how cold human hearts can be. Family and love crumble so easily in the face of profit. After calming down, I notice I'm not feeling well. All this stress recently has left me eating and sleeping irregular. My stomach has been aching, dully thinking I have nothing else to do anyway. I might as well go to the hospital for a full check for peace of mind. So I get up, wash up, get ready, and take a cab to one of the capital's top-tier hospitals. I register at the health screening department and get the full body workup. The results take 3 days. During those 3 days, I handled the landlord situation while discussing the new company with my friends. As for the landlord with the security footage as proof, Vivian knows she's in the wrong. In the end, she pays the landlord 20,000 yuan. That settles the matter. I hear that because of this, Vivian had a big fight with her local boyfriend in the capital. Her boyfriend thinks she's too extreme and brainless and has plenty of complaints about her. Hearing this fills me with satisfaction. She brought it all on herself. 3 days later, I go to the hospital to pick up my report. Looking at the results, I freeze for a moment. The report shows several polyps in my intestines. They are benign, but the doctor recommends having them removed by minimally invasive surgery as soon as possible to prevent any future complication. The doctor also tells me to watch my diet, get proper rest, and keep my mood balanced. Don't overwork and don't get angry. Holding the report, I walk out of the hospital. Watching the crowd on the street, an idea suddenly pops into my head. An idea to make those who schemed against me pay the price, since they care so much about profit and despise me as a burden. I might as well pretend to be in terrible health and see just how selfish they can be and let myself cut off the last thread of attachment I have to them. First, I go to the pharmacy and buy some cold medicine and painkillers. Then I go to the hospital and get some medicine for my stomach. I deliberately peel off the labels on the bottles, leaving only the outer package. I have a designer friend help me forge a fake cancer diagnosis report. Report states stage 2 colon cancer, needs surgery as soon as possible. Estimated cost around 300,000 yuan. Once everything is ready, I deliberately stay up for several nights to make my face look pale and gaunt, my eyes hollow, my whole self looking sickly, drained of all life. 1 month later, everything is in place. I drive back to my hometown and head straight to Kevin's rented place. It's an old rundown neighborhood. The apartment is on the 6th floor. No elevator, The hallway is piled with junk, giving off a musty smell. I push the door open inside. It's tiny and cramped, less than 600 square feet, and there are 3 beds crammed in. The living room is piled with miscellaneous barely any space to stand. My parents, hoping I'll still pay for Kevin's car, are willing to live in this dump. They really can put up with anything. I push the door open and step inside. My parents and Kevin are all there, gathered around the table for dinner. The 3 of them freeze for a moment, a flash of surprise crossing their faces, before quickly returning to normal. My mother sets down her chopsticks and asks, with fake concern, "Ethan, what brought you back? Didn't you say you were going back to find a job?" I don't answer her. Instead, I stagger forward a few steps, grip the table for support, my body trembling slightly. My face is pale, my lips crack. Then without a word, I start sobbing, my voice choking thick with despair. "Mom, Dad, I'm sick. The company didn't fire me because of layoff. It was because of this I was afraid you'd worry, so I didn't dare tell you the truth. I kept it hidden as I speak." I pull the fake diagnosis report from my bag and place it on the table. Sliding it toward them, I keep my head bowed low, my shoulders shaking with sobs, looking utterly pitiful seeing me like this. And the report on the table? Their faces twitch involuntarily. A flash of panic and disgust crosses their eyes. They exchange a glance. Then my father lets out a forced laugh, his tone holding no concern, only dismissal. "Ethan, stop joking around. You look healthy as ever. How could you possibly be sick? The hospital must have made a mistake." My mother chimes in, Yes, they must have gotten it. You're so young, healthy as can be. How could you have a serious illness?" I lift my head, my expression heartbroken, my eyes red and brimming with tears. I choke out, "It came up at my checkup this year. It's colon cancer, but it hasn't reached the late stage yet. They caught it just in time. It's still treatable." I pause, then deliberately put on a hopeful expression and look at them. "Mom, Dad, I know we don't have much money right now. Things aren't easy for you, but didn't I have an apartment before? The one I prepared as my wedding home. Its market value should be over 300,000 yuan now. The doctor says with 300,000, my condition can be controlled. I can have the surgery." I finish looking at them with eyes full of hope, hands clasped tightly together, knuckles white like I'm grasping at the last straw. "Dad, Mom, count this as a loan once I get better. I'll work hard and pay you back, Kevin." Kevin still has a job, does he? He's been working for a while now. He must have some savings. "Please help me, save me. I'm begging you, save me." Hearing this, my father panics. He picks up the diagnosis report from the table and glances at it, his hands trembling. He stammers, We have no money. Your brother Kev only started working not long ago. How could he have savings?" "Ethan, don't panic. Don't worry, Mom and Dad will help you. We'll figure something out." My mother nods along, forcing a strange smile. "Yes, Ethan. Don't worry, Mom and Dad won't abandon you. We'll think of something. Their mouths say they'll help, but their eyes dart away, not daring to meet mine. The 2 of them tell me to wait on the couch, saying they'll go into the bed to count how much money they and see what they can scrape to. I watch them walk into the bedroom, one after the other. The door closes. A cold smirk curls at the corner of my lips. I stand up and quietly tiptoe to the balcony window. The bedroom window isn't fully shut. A small gap is left. The voices inside come through clearly. Sure enough, the moment they enter the bedroom, they drop the act and start scheming. My mother's voice is panicked and complains. "What did Ethan just say? Cancer? Cancer is a bottomless pit when it comes to treat. He still has that apart, but he has no job now and he has cancer. Even if he gets cured, he probably can't do. He'll never amount to anything. And oh God, this apartment, even if we give it to him, it won't be enough for treatment. In the end, it'll end up with nothing. After all that effort." My father's voice is irritated and resolute, lowered. "We can't give it to him. Cancer is never easy to cure. The money will be wasted, and cancer slowly destroys the body. The whole family will be dragged down. Kevin's wedding will be ruined too." "Absolutely not." My mother slowly starts to cry. Her voice holds no sadness, only fear. "Then what do we do if we don't give it? What if he latches onto us? He's at a dead end now. He'll definitely keep clinging to us. How about taking him to a traditional doctor? It's cheaper and maybe it can be cured." My father sighs, his tone ice cold. "What traditional doctor? If even Western medicine can't handle, what use is traditional medicine? There's no point. Think of something. Can we send him somewhere far away? Let him figure it out on his so he doesn't drag the family down. He grew up with his grandparents anyway. He's not close to us." Hearing that last sentence, my heart goes completely cold, like it's been thrown into an icebox. The chill runs from head to toe. So in their hearts, I have always been an outsider, a disposable burden. I'm sick. And instead of helping, they want to push me away and let me struggle alone. My mother stays silent for a moment. "There's no better option. You just hurt your leg a few months ago. The hospital visit cost a lot. We have basically no savings left. Where would the money for cancer treatment come from? Let him get checked in the village some. Just barely keep him going. Ethan has cancer. How much would that cost? We don't have the means. Don't bring up my leg." It's annoying. It's all my father's fault. He made me go work in the fields. Not only did I fall, he fell too. Now he calls me from the village whenever there's nothing going on, asking if my leg's better, if I can come back and help. Forget it, no way. At his age, he can't even take care of himself, and he's worried about others. Hearing this, my heart sinks. The blood in my veins seems to freeze. Grandpa isn't well. Not only did they not tell me, they just left him alone in the village. Even after Grandpa hurt his leg, they couldn't be bothered to care. They could even say something like that. What kind of people are they to do this? Grandpa raised me from the time I was small. He gave everything to them, and yet they can be this unfilial, this cold-blooded. I stand on the balcony shaking with rage. Teeth grinding my hands grip the railing tightly. Knuckles white fingernails digging deep into my flesh. A faint metallic taste spreads in my mouth. I never knew them well enough. Their selfishness and coldness go far beyond what I imagined. This must end now. I won't give them another chance to scheme against anyone, and I won't show them an ounce of mercy ever again. That evening, Kevin gets home from work. He pushes the door open, sees me sitting on the couch, pale and listless, and pauses for a moment. He casually asks Ethan, "What are you doing back? Why do you look so pale?" My parents didn't expect me to wait in the living. They never imagined I'd eavesdrop on their conversation. They quickly pull Kevin into the master bedroom, close the door, and tell him everything about my situation, including my cancer, how I want the apartment to pay for surgery, and their plan to send me away. I'm still standing on the balcony, listening to the conversation inside. Kevin's voice carries a hint of doubt. "Ethan looks fine to me. When I left for work this morning, he was sitting in the living room. He didn't look that bad. Did they?" My mother's voice is sharp. "What got it wrong? The hospital issued the report. How can it be fake right now? It doesn't matter how serious his illness. Hurry and think of something. How do we send Ethan somewhere he can't come back and drag us down? Your dad's leg just cost us a lot. We have no savings left. Where would we get money for his cancer treatment? We're counting on that money for your..." Then my father seems to suddenly remember something. His voice turns sinister as he speaks to Kevin. "Didn't you tell me the other day about those travel tour scams that disguise themselves as overseas work programs, but actually traffic people to scam compounds overseas? The kind where you never come back. Do you still have that connection?" Kevin hesitates for a moment, his voice uncertain. "There is something like... I heard about it from a friend. They specifically target desperate people, telling them they can make a fortune with food and lodging covered. But once they get there, they're forced into labor or scam operation. Disobey and they get beaten. Once you go in, it's nearly impossible to escape. You can't come back perfect. Your brother has cancer now. He must feel his life has no... We'll tell him there's an old herbalist overseas who specializes in cancer. With miraculous skills, many people have been cured. Then we sign him up for that tour. Send him over there. Once he's gone, he'll never come back. We'll be rid of this cancer could drag the whole family down to..." Suddenly, no one in the room speaks. They must be exchanging glances, weighing the pros and cons. A few minutes later, my father speaks up, his tone leaving no room for debate. "It's settled. We'll tell him it's a trip to relax his mind and to see the herbalist retreat. We'll find that connection and book him a spot. Kevin, you handle this." Yes, make sure it's... Don't let him get suspicious." My mother and Kevin say nothing more. I can hear faint footsteps inside, as if they're working out the details. I stand quietly on the balcony listening to their plan. No ripple in my heart, only endless cold. To get rid of me this burden, they would actually lure me into a scam compound, condemn me to a living hell. These aren't these are simply villains plotting against me. Luckily, I gave up on them long ago, and I'm already prepared. I won't let their scheme succeed. I pull out my phone and message I know he works in security and has a few reliable brothers under him. I tell him I need him to help me put on a show tomorrow. I send him the address and ask him to bring a few brothers. "Payment is no issue," the friend replies quickly. "No problem. He'll be there first thing in the morning." After sending the message, I put my phone away and sit back on the couch. My face stays sickly desperate and helpless. I wait for them to come out, to see what they'll perform next. Early the next morning, as the sky is just beginning to light, they start their act. Kevin goes first. He walks up to me, his face showing guilt and helplessness. He sighs and pats my shoulder. "Ethan, I'm sorry. I asked around at work yesterday, but no one was willing to lend any money. Everyone's just a worker. Nobody has much in saving. Give us some time. We'll think of something. We'll ask relatives and friends. There's really not much money at home right now. We're sorry we can't do more to help you." As he speaks, he deliberately makes his eyes go red, squeezing out a few tears, looking deeply remorseful. Then my father walks over. His face shows regret and pain. He pounds his chest and says, "Ethan, blame me. It's all my fault. If I hadn't gotten involved in that stupid scheme, trying to save more money for you and kept doing a little business, not only did I not make money, I lost everything we had. Now we don't have a cent at home. We can't even buy you something nice to eat. Blame me, blame me." Finally, my mother comes over. She takes my hand, her eyes red, crying as she says, "Ethan, don't worry, we will never abandon you. Even if we have to sell every pot and pan. We'll find a way to scrape together the money for your treatment. Your dad and I talked it over. We want to first sign you up for a travel tour somewhere to clear your head. You've been so sick lately. Your mood must be terrible. Going out, getting some fresh air will be good for your condition. When you get back, we'll take you to a big hospital for treatment. No matter how much money it costs, we will cure you." The three of them take turns performing with vivid expressions and floods of tears. Anyone who didn't know better would surely be moved by their fake sincerity. Too bad I already know their plot. Looking at their hypocritical face, I just feel sick. I say nothing, just keep my head down, pretending to look broken and hopeless, letting them believe I've fallen for their words. Just then, a loud commotion erupts at the door. Someone pounds on the door shouting, "Ethan, Ethan, get out here. Don't. Running to the countryside will get you off. We can find you anywhere," and open the door. Now then comes a violent series of bangs. The door rattles like it could break at any moment, terrifying my parents and Kevin. The three of them go pale instant, their performance stopping. They stare at the door in horror, not knowing what's going on. Kevin is shaking with fear, stammering as he looks at me. Ethan, you owe money. How much did you? How did they track you here? As he speaks, he trembles and goes to open, probably afraid the door, and he'll have to pay the landlord. The moment the door opens, 4 hulking men step inside. Each one stands over 6 feet tall with powerful builds, grim eyes. Clearly not the kind of people you'd want to mess with. The one leading them is Bruno. My friend in security, Bruno, walks in, his gaze sweeping over the 3 in the room, finally landing on me. He puts on a fierce expression and snorts coldly. Ethan, you lost your job. You got sick and now you think you can hide. Don't think running to the countryside will say, if we couldn't find you today, who would pay your debt once your body gives? Seeing me say nothing, and seeing these 4 imposing men, my parents are scared out of their wits. They shout, we're calling the police. Who are you? Get out or we'll call the cops. Bruno cracks his wrist with a loud snap and grins menacingly. Call them. Go ahead, call. Let's see what the police can do. Ethan owes me a total of 1 million yen. I've got the IOU as proof. Even the police will have to acknowledge that. As he speaks, he pulls a fake IOU from his pocket and slaps it down on the table. The 1 million makes my parents and Kevin's legs go weak. All 3 stagger backward, barely able to stand by gripping the table. My mother points at me and shouts furiously, Ethan, you ungrateful son, how could you owe this much money? Have you lost your mind? Are you trying to kill? How did we raise such a child? My father joins in, you ungrateful child. What were you doing out there? You borrow this much. How are we supposed? What sins did we commit in our past to have a son like you? Kevin looks at me with disgust. 2, brother. You really know how to cause trouble. 1 million yuan. Our family couldn't earn that in several generations. You're pushing us to a dead end. I put on a panicked, helpless expression and stammer, my voice choked with sob. I didn't mean to. I wanted to buy a house in the capital. I used some for the down payment, then some on my girlfriend. Who knew the house deal would fall? I'd lose my job and end up owing this much. I'm helpless. My father's face turns purple he raises his hand to shove me. Bruno reacts in a flash, stepping in front of me to shield. He glares at my father and snorts cold. I know he's sick if you dare lay a hand on, and something happened. Don't think you can pin it on and skip out on the debt. My father is frozen by Bruno's stare. His raised hand hangs in midair. Not daring to come down, Bruno glances at the 3 of them and sneers. I don't want to make a scene. After all, paying your debts is only right. I've done my research. He has an apartment under his name, right? Handed over his payment, 1 million. That apartment is just enough to cover. Once it's settled, this whole thing is over. Otherwise, we'll be back every single day, and you'll never have peace. My father stares at the 4 big men. The tiny apartment can barely contain them. Your presence has him shake. He stammers, waving his hands. We don't have money. That apartment isn't his either. It's ours. It has nothing to do with him. We can't give it to you. Bruno gives a cold laugh and pulls a pre-prepared document from his pocket, slapping it on the table. Fine. If you don't want to use the apartment to pay his, then sign this. He points to the doc, speaking word by word. Sign this, and you officially sever all child ties with Ethan. His debt has nothing to do with. We'll take your son with us. As for what happens to him after, none of your business at this. He sneers. I'll find a way to get the money out of him myself. Even if he's sick, I have ways to make him pay. Hearing this, my parents and Kevin's eyes light up instantly, like they've grabbed onto a lifeline. A look of pure joy crosses their faces. They snatch up the pen at lightning speed and sign their names on the document to sever the parent-child relationship, pressing their fingerprints down. Their expressions show nothing but relief that such a miracle exists, that they can finally rid themselves of this dead weight. The moment they finish signing, they shove the document over, as if afraid of being a second too late. My father quickly adds, leave now. Take him away. We have nothing to do with him. Nothing at all. Don't come to us about anything involving ever again. My mother chimes in. Yes, we severed ties with him long ago. His debt has nothing to do with us. Just take him away. Kevin looks the most relieved of all. He waves his hand. Hurry up and go. Don't bother us again. Bruno grips the clenches his jaw and says angrily, I've never seen a family like yours. Your own son is sick, and not only do you refuse to help, you actually can't wait for something to happen to him. Fine, I'll take him away. Just don't come back regretting it later. Watching the 3 of them so eager and cold-blooded, the last shred of hope in my heart vanishes completely. I don't look back. I don't spare them another glance. I follow Bruno and his brother out of that disgusting place. With long strides, stepping out of the building and into Bruno's car, the atmosphere instantly relaxes. Bruno rolls down the window, his face full of indignation. Bro, your family is something else. They've completely changed my view of humanity. These aren't your family, they're worse than strangers. Good thing you cut ties. Cutting them off completely is the right call. You'll never have to deal with them again. The other brothers nod along, saying they've never seen parents and a brother this selfish and cold-blooded, telling me to never deal with them again. I look at Bruno and his brothers with deep gratitude. I shake each of their hands, then pull out a stack of cash from my bag, and hand each of them 2,000 yen for their trouble. They wave their hands, saying, we're all friends, this is nothing. No need to pay, but in the end, I force them to take it after Bruno and his crew leave. I don't waste a second. I drive straight to Grandpa's village, my heart racing with worry. I tuck the document, severing my parent-child relationship, safely in my pocket as I speed down the road. Only one thought fills my mind. Find Grandpa, get him out of that place, and take him to the capital for treatment. The village roads are rough and full of potholes. It takes me over 2 hours to arrive. I head straight to Grandpa's house. I push open the door and step inside. The yard is overgrown with weeds. It looks like no one has tended to for a long time. Grandpa is sitting on a small stool soaking up the sun. He looks utterly worn out. His hair gray, his back deeply hunched. His leg is wrapped in thick gauze, but the gauze has turned dark. Looking inflamed when he sees me come in, he freezes for a moment, then struggles to get up, a flash of joy on his face. "Ethan, what brought you here? Has work been tough? Why are you suddenly back?" Grandpa speaks as he tries to step down, wanting to pour me a glass of water. I quickly step forward, hold him still, and stop him from moving, looking at how worn out he is, looking at the inflamed gauze on his leg. I hold back my tears. My throat feels blocked. I can't speak. Grandpa raised me from the time I was small. He gave me everything. And now he has ended up like this, abandoned in the village, by his own son and daughter-in-law, ignored, left with a leg injury that no one tends to. "Grandpa, please don't move. How is your leg? Why didn't you go to the hospital?" I helped Grandpa sit down. My voice choked. I gently touch his leg. He winces in pain, his brow furrowing. Grandpa smiles, trying to sound casual. "It's nothing, just a little fall. I'll rest, it'll heal. No need for the hospital. Hospitals cost too much. Your parents have it hard too. I don't want to be a bother." Listening to Grandpa, my heart aches even more. He's in this state, and he's still thinking about, but them not a single word of concern. I even said to just leave Grandpa alone. I can't hold it in anymore. Tears spill down. I grip Grandpa's hand tightly. "Grandpa, I'm sorry. I came too late. I let you suffer. From now on, I'll never let you suffer again. Right now, I'm taking you to the capital. To the best hospital without another word." I pack a few of Grandpa's belongings, help him into the car, and drive straight to the cap. The whole way, Grandpa keeps asking what's wrong. If something has happened. "Nothing, I just missed you, Grandpa. I want to bring you to the capital for a few days. Spend some time with you." Once we reach the capital, I take Grandpa straight to the top-tier hospital, where I had my own checkup, and book a specialist appointment in orthopedic. The doctor examines my Grandpa thoroughly, and he just hurt his leg because it wasn't treated in time. The wound got infected, and there's a slight bone fracture. Thankfully, it's not too serious. With proper rest care and regular bandage changes, he'll recover soon. Hearing the doctor's words, my anxious heart finally settles. I check Grandpa in for hospital stay and hire a caregiver to look after him full time. I also buy a fully furnished apartment near the hospital so Grandpa recover comfortably after discharge. The place is small but cozy and warm, with all the furniture and appliances ready. While Grandpa is in the hospital, I take care of and run our new company with my friend. The few of us pulled some money together and started a tech company in the field of artificial intelligence. We're all veterans in the industry with resources and skills. To our surprise, the company secures a 10 million yuan investment shortly after launch. Business takes off and orders keep pouring in, riding the momentum. I invest in a few small projects I see potential in, some in clean energy, some in creative arts. Turns out my instincts are sharp. Several of those projects turn profitable, and the margins are impressive. Just like that, within just a few months, my assets multiply several times over. I soon buy a standalone villa in the capital, with a yard and a garden in a beautiful neighborhood. I also use the talent recruitment program to get my residency in the capital. Now I'm a true resident of the capital. Meanwhile, Grandpa's leg heals well after discharge. I bring him to the villa to live with me. The villa has a housekeeper and a taking care of his meals and daily needs. Grandpa looks around the spacious villa, gazing at the garden in the yard, his face filled with disbelief. He grabs my hand and asks, "Ethan, this house is yours. How did you get so all of a sudden? You didn't do anything illegal, did you?" I smile and explain. "The company I had shares in went public. I got a payout. Then I started a company with friends and invested in a few projects, which all made money. Every cent is legal income." Only then does Grandpa relax. He looks at me, a pleased smile spreading across his face. "Well done. Our Ethan has made something of him. Grandpa is happy for you. I'm not trying to hide. The fact that I brought Grandpa to the city, I know I couldn't keep it a secret anyway. People in the village knew. Grandpa's old friend and relatives slowly started asking him about me, wondering if I had struck it rich in the cap. Grandpa doesn't hide it. He tells them honestly that I just got made some money and asks them not to spread it around. But there's no such thing as a secret in this world. Word about me slowly gets out. I know sooner or later someone will come knocking, looking to leech off me, looking to scheme against me. I don't care at all, come what may. I'll handle it if they know what's good for them. They'll stay away if they don't. I won't be polite either, but I never expected the first one to come would be my ex-girlfriend Vivian. Somehow through our mutual friend, she learned that I was financially free, that I bought a villa in the cap, got my residency, and was thriving. She starts using random unknown numbers to harass me, calling and texting nonstop, trying to get back together. One day, I'm in a meeting at the company. My phone suddenly rings unknown number. I pick up. Vivian's voice comes through. "Ethan, it's me. Vivian, how have you been? I was just upset that you went back. Without telling me, I was just throwing a little tantrum. Why haven't you contacted me for so long? I miss you so much." Hearing her voice, I frown instantly, a wave of disgust rising in me. I say flatly, "Vivian, you broke up with me. Don't act like you have amnesia. We've been over for a long time. Don't call me again. Vivian pauses for a sec, then she starts acting coy again. Her voice sickly sweet. We didn't break up. I was just, you know how girls are. Throwing a little tantrum is normal. I wasn't thinking clearly back then. It was my mom that pressured me into breaking up with you. Ethan, will you forgive me? Let's start over. I almost laugh out loud, the nerve of this woman. When she broke up with me, she was so harsh, saying I was worth nothing. And now that she knows I have money, she wants to get back together. Does she really think I'm an idiot? Stop messing around, tantrum. Aren't you with that boy in the capital? I heard he's even a local with a house and a car. Aren't you planning to marry him? Stop harassing me, goodbye. I'm about to hang up when Vivian panics and shouts on the other end. Wait, Ethan. I'm not with anyone else. That guy was just someone my mom set me up. I don't like him at all. I was just playing along with him. I recently realized the one I love most is still. Please forgive me. I know I was wrong. No, please don't. I'm not turning back now. I must have been blind to ever fall for you. My tone is ice cold, dripping with mockery. That day I was going to tell you I had much money. I got over 60 million yuan in dividends. I wanted to marry you, buy you a house, buy you a car so you'd never have to work hard again. Just live peacefully, but you didn't want that life. You thought I was useless, not good enough for you. So what are you babbling about now? Hearing about the 60 million Vivian freezes instantly after a few seconds. She suddenly bursts into tears, her voice thick with regret and self-pity. Ethan, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I shouldn't have been so materialistic. I shouldn't have looked down on that guy. He's not a good person at all. He gambles, he's drowning in and he treats me terribly. Being with him makes me miserable. Ethan, save me. Please save me. I know you still have feelings. Will you forgive me just this once? Hey, you brought it on yourself. You get the life you deserve. Don't go dragging others down with you. I say it coldly, hang up and block her number. Vivian's crying still rings harshly in my ear. The mess she's in now, she chose it herself. No one else to blame. She failed to see who I really was. I thought blocking Vivian would end the harassment, but just a few days later, Vivian's mother actually calls me. On the other end, Mrs. Carter's voice carries a hint of apology and plea. Ethan, it's all my fault. Blame me. I was the one who forced Vivian to break up with you, who forced her to be with that other man. Vivian's life is miserable now. That man bullies her. Please forgive her. Let her come back to you. She knows she was wrong. Carter, I remember when I visited your home. That's not what you said. My tone turns icy. I remember the scene at the Carter house, and a wave of resentment rises. You said I was from some small town. I was useless, not good enough for your Vivian. You threw out the gifts I carefully prepared, told me to leave, said I'd never amount to anything in this life, that I'd never afford a place in the cap, and said if I couldn't save up 2 million yuan, I had no right to propose. Have you forgotten all that? I remember it clearly. I remember their faces back then. Mr. Carter sat on the couch, not even sparing me a glance, Mrs. Carter was full of arrogance, tearing me down completely. Vivian stood to the side, silent, quietly approving of her parents. I should have seen their true colors then, but I was blinded by love at the time. I thought if I just worked hard enough, they'd come to accept me, Mrs. Carter pauses on the other end. My words leave her speechless. After a few seconds, she finally chokes out that was just a moment of foolishness on my— I failed to see your worth, Ethan. Please be the bigger person. Don't stoop to our level. Vivian knows she was wrong. She still loves you. Please, she's just a girl. Finding the right person isn't easy. Take pity on her, please. Hearing this, I just laugh outright. So in their eyes, I'm just a sucker. Someone with money who's easy to push around. Their daughter has a bad time, and they want to dump her back to clean up the mess. When was the world ever that convenient? Mrs. Carter, I'm sorry. I'm a rich man now too, so I don't think much of your Vivian anymore. She's not good enough for me. Goodbye, I finish and hang up immediately. I blocked Mrs. Carter's number too, and set my phone to filter out all unknown numbers. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't want anything more to do with that family. Their true faces are simply too ugly. The days pass one by one. I manage the company's business and spend time with Grandpa. The business keeps growing, my wealth keeps growing, and Grandpa's health gets better and better every day. He plants flowers in the villa's yard, raises some birds, chats with the next door neighbor, and does square dancing with Grandma Mitch. From next door, his days are leisurely and pleasant. Seeing Grandpa so happy fills my heart with satisfaction. This is the life I want, simple and happy. One day the weather is beautiful. The sun shining bright. Grandpa and I are planting vegetables. In the villa's yard, there's an empty patch that I turned into a small garden. We planted greens, cucumbers, and tomatoes. All things Grandpa loves after all. Growing our own vegetables means peace of mind, and it's good exercise too. I used to hate this kind of farm work, but now planting with Grandpa, turning the soil, sowing the seeds, watering the plants, I find it so peaceful. It feels like a sense of belonging carved into my bones. The moment my hands touch my heart feels grounded. I'm crouched setting up a trellis for the cucumber sprout. Grandpa goes inside to get water, saying he wants to water the seedlings. Just then, a car horn suddenly blares at the gate. Someone bangs hard on the yard gate, shouting, Ethan, Ethan, open up. It's your mom and dad, and we came to see you. Hearing those familiar, disgusting voices, my hands freeze, I frown. Without even thinking, I know they must have heard. I struck it rich in the cap, bought a villa, got my residency, and came knocking to leech off me like a ghost. That won't go away. I stand up, brush the dirt off my hand, walk to the gate and open it. Mom, Dad, and Kevin are standing there, dressed in brand new clothes, holding some cheap fruit and milk. The moment they see me, fawning smiles spread across all three faces. Kevin speaks first, and unbelievably, His opening line is an accusation with a hint of complaint. Ethan, what's the point of lying to us? Family shouldn't play games like this. Look at you with a standalone villa in Capital. A yard this big, a house this beautiful. Aren't you going to invite Mom, Dad, and me inside? Look how worried you've got. Mom and Dad, the moment they heard you struck it rich in the they rushed over overnight. The trip was rough. They're exhausted. Looking at Kevin's nothing happened, completely entitled attitude. I have to admire how shameless he can be, as if all those schemes, as if trying to traffic me to a scam compound overseas, never happened. I wipe the dirt off my hands and say coldly, Kevin, did you forget? Didn't you all already sever the child relationship with me? You signed that document with your own hand. Press your fingerprints on it. What's this hurt? I have money. And now you want to come grab some for yourself. Hearing my blunt words, Kevin's smile freezes instantly. He frowns and shouts, Ethan, so what if you have money? Can't you talk like a normal person? It's just a few filthy money. Why act so high and mighty? Talk to me like a person. Do you even deserve that? My voice is ice cold, my eyes full of mockery. That apartment I bought is my wedding. It's under your name now, isn't it? That apartment I worked 8 years to save up. The one you tricked me out of. Return my property first, then we'll talk. The moment I say this, the three of them freeze. A flash of panic crosses their eyes. Dad stammers, How did you know we were so careful? How could you? The apartment was transferred to Kev. I tossed the dirty napkin aside and snapped back. I knew from the very beginning, I was just trying to play a joke on you, and I never imagined you'd have no family, feeling for me at all, and would even try to traffic me overseas, push me into a death trap for a moment. My father looks guilty, then he suddenly straightens his back and so what if we schemed against you're our son Kevin, is your younger brother supporting us, spending money on us? That's just what you're supposed to do. Their shameless attitude makes me laugh in fury. What absolute nonsense, not 1 cent. I will never give you another cent. We have no relationship anymore. Get out, or I'm calling the police. My parents immediately start wailing at my door. Oh heavens, there's no justice in this world. Our elder son has no respect for his parents. He has money, but won't support us in our old. He doesn't care if his parents live or die. What an ungrateful son listening to them wail. I cover my ears. Who are you to? I don't have parents. The severance document is still in my hand. Don't you have a son? Look, Kevin, hurry. Why are you letting your parents cry that? How can you be so thoughtless hearing me? My father gets so angry. He tries to lunge forward and shove. I grab his wrist midair. What? You want to hit me? Do you even deserve to touch me? Grandpa got hurt and you left him to suffer and me. I just made a joke, and you transferred my apartment to terrified I might spend a single cent of yours. I said I was sick, and you actually plotted to traffic me to a compound overseas. What kind of parents do this? Aren't you afraid of bad karma at this? I laugh out loud. Funny thing is, I just wanted to play a joke on you. The heavens see everything even heaven knows you don't deserve it. Back then I was planning to buy you a villa, a mansion, a car, and give each of you several million for retirement. Hearing the commotion, Grandpa comes out leaning on his cane, furious. This is too much. I'm your father. You tell me, what does it mean to honor your parents? Ethan has been on his own all these, and you selfish to the core. Even trying to harm him. That apartment of his is worth a lot. Giving it to you was already more than you deserve. What else do you dare to lecture Ethan about being a good son? Come tell me, how have you been, good children? Ethan spent hundreds of thousands on my medical bills. You owe him every single cent. Then Grandpa turns and goes straight to the flower bed, picks up a flower pot and hurls it at them. The three of them instantly stumble back in shock. Seeing Grandpa worked up enough to actually hit, they turn and run for the car. Dad, don't get worked up, Grandpa. It's me, Kevin. Kevin, you're all so ungrateful. I help Grandpa steady himself, telling him not to get so worked up that he might hurt himself watching them get chased off. Grandpa snorts without a care. I saw through these people long ago. I'm not worked up. This little outburst is nothing compared to the work. I get square dancing with Mitchell next door, Ethan. Don't worry, these people just needed a lesson. Come, let's go inside. Grandpa will make your favorite sugar pancakes. I smile and help Grandpa walk inside. My work is mostly handled now, and Grandpa is getting old. I decide to take him traveling. He worked so hard for me in his younger, and after I started working, I couldn't always be by his side. Now I have the time. Some people simply aren't worth my time, and anymore I act on it without delay. I plan the trip, and Grandpa and I set off to explore the beautiful landscapes of our homeland.